Fabricant.
Question 3, sir.
D. Minister Maynard.
I understand the intense interest there will be across the House in this particular issue. The Oakervee review is ongoing at the moment and will consider all 3 phases of the project. I met Douglas Oakervee last week for an administrative discussion about the review, and once the review is finalised, the department is committed to making it public.
Michael Fabricant.
Mr. Speaker, it's not just the cost of HS2, it's the route. It doesn't even connect with Birmingham New Street, Heathrow, or its very original intention of connecting with the Channel Tunnel. It does none of these. Doug Oakervee himself has told me that the amount of time they've got to consider all this is very limited, very challenging indeed. Not enough time, Mr. Speaker, to consider alternative routes. So will he consider giving them more time to do just that?
Well, as I say, we have not put any time limit on Mr. Oakervee's findings, and he will report when he is ready to do so. As he will know, the current plans for Phase 1 would see passengers connecting to Heathrow via Old Oak Common, and services also call at Euston, where passengers can make onward travel plans, including to Eurostar at King's Cross St Pancras.
Graham Stringer.
Mr. Speaker, any change to the route of HS2 is likely to lead to further delays and extra cost. Isn't the solution to HS2 to put competent people in charge of delivering it, not to mess about with it and give an advantage to those people who are opposed to it?
Well, I have no doubt Mr. Oakervee is watching proceedings here carefully this morning to hear what colleagues have to say. That will be one of the issues that comes within his terms of reference that he will be reporting on.
Dame Cheryl Gillen.
Mr. Speaker, it's reported in the Civil Engineer this morning that the advisory panel to the so-called independent Oakervee review have been asked to sign non-disclosure agreements in an attempt to stop leaks. How can it be right that a publicly funded project is again trying to conceal information about its viability by gagging the very people who have in-depth and up-to-date knowledge of this dreadful project?
Minister.
Well, Mr. Oakervee is trying to ensure that he works consensually with the panel to ensure that they reach a single report. The management of the panel and the individuals on it, who cover a wide range of views, is a matter for Mr. Oakervee.
Tim Farron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. HS2 is an investment for the north of England, but would be a lot more popular in the north of England if the trains actually stopped somewhere in the far north of England. At present, there are no plans whatsoever for HS2 trains to stop in Cumbria, even though the Lake District is the biggest visitor destination in the country after London. Will he fix this immediately?
Minister.
He's perhaps tempting me to go a little too far in presuming that everything is going ahead, so I don't want to preempt Mr. Oakervee's report, but he will be aware that under the previous plans, classic compatible trains will run north of Wigan and therefore will be able to stop at a range of services, including Kendal, including Oxenholme, the Lake District, including Carlisle, and that is part of what the West Coast Partnership will be able to consider.
Congratulate the right honourable gentleman for Aylesbury on his moderately demonstrative tie. Mr. David, or Sir David Liddington.
From you, Mr. Speaker, I take that as indeed a compliment. Can I ask my honourable friend if he will instruct HS2 that they and their contractors should follow their own construction code and give local residents along Phase 1 due and proper advance notice of enabling works that they're intending to carry out, instead of the high-handed, peremptory and arrogant approach that HS2 is currently taking?
Minister.
Well, I'm disappointed to hear what he has to say. More than happy to meet him to obtain further details. It is very important that HS2 continues to work with local communities rather than acting upon them when they carry out these works, so I look forward to hearing some further details.
Rachel Maskell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Not only has the Williams Review yet to see light of day, but the Oakervee report is ready. His team have pulled out all the stops to get this to the Minister next week. So why is the Secretary of State saying he won't publish it until after the general election? Is it because he intends to cut off the economic opportunities of the North, or is worried that it will upset voters in the South?
I'm
Minister.
certainly not taking lectures on how to be supporting the North economically or indeed in transport terms, the Honourable Lady. I'm delighted she lives in a world of alternate reality. Neither the Secretary of State nor I have received Mr Oakervee's report. She clearly knows more than I do, or maybe she's making it up.